Hello, thanks for staying with us on BERNAMA today. As mentioned earlier, we're now speaking to Geetha Kandiah. She's the Director of Trademarks and Designs Division for CAS International. How are you doing today, Geetha?
I'm good, thank you, Elaine.
Glad to have you back in the studio.
Nice to be back as well.
Now, 2 weeks ago, we spoke about intellectual property and gave people sort of like an overview of what intellectual property meant. But today, let's go a little bit deeper in terms of specifics, and we'll talk about trademarks specifically. So, now let's talk about why do trademarks even matter and how do trademarks really bring value to businesses? What is actually trademark in the first place?
Right, so trademarks are the first thing you see when you think of a product or a service. It's the face of the business.
Okay, so what is considered a trademark? A brand is the trademark?
So the brand,
is the trademark?
the brand, the slogan, anything that is a source identifier. What does that mean? So when you're thirsty and you're thinking of a drink,
you think of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, so see, whatever pops into your head is the trademark.
Right.
So if you're hungry and you're thinking, I'm loving it, and you think of the golden arches, that's the brand. So whatever pops into your head, because you're associating that, whatever that pops into your head, to the type of food you get, the quality of services you get, the type of drink you get. So you're identifying it to who produces those things.
So it's the name, like if I think of you, I think of Geetha, I think of me, I think of Elaine. So it's the name that you're calling that service or product.
So what you identify, that service or product, the first thing that you identify with.
Right.
So that's a trademark, that brand, face of that business.
Right.
And trademarks have evolved,
yes.
But now in many countries, especially developed countries, they recognize sound as a trademark.
How does that work?
Like MGM, you know, when you watch a movie,
right, the jingle itself,
yes,
right.
The Yahoo jingle, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you hear the sound, you know immediately, oh, that's a service provider.
Okay.
So it's developed to sound, it's developed to scent, shape. Okay, can you think of any fizzy drink that you recognize the shape of the bottle?
Yeah, I would assume Coca-Cola as well, simply because you know it has a very iconic sort of silhouette.
Okay, another one, a bar of chocolate that's triangular in shape.
Old Toblerone.
So shapes.
There you go.
So you're thinking of the who produces this,
right.
Toblerone.
Right.
So that becomes the trademark as well. So
I
in
see.
some countries, shapes are also recognized as a trademark.
But that can get a little tricky, simply because you know those are common things. Like triangle, you know, how do you trademark a triangle? Everybody can use the triangle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's generic or common, but not in relation to chocolates. It's always been a chocolate bar. It's always been rectangular.
Yeah, sort of like tubes and flat.
And bottles for Coca-Cola. Before Coca-Cola came up with that shape, it was all very common shapes.
Right.
So it has to be a unique shape,
Yes.
and you have to have used it for many years to then people associate that your brand produces that shape.
I see.
So, but then that's taking it a bit further, because in Malaysia, shapes and scents and sound have not been recognized as a trademark yet. So you can't actually go to the IP office and say, I want to register this jingle as my trademark.
Not yet?
Not yet. So
okay.
That's right. What it is.
Okay, so not like you mentioned earlier, the shape of it and
scent,
the color and the scent, all those are probably work in progress.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a timeline for that in terms of when that will come to become
No,
law?
so the Act is going to be amended. As in when it will be amended, that's not confirmed yet. It's been already taken to Parliament. Changes have been suggested.
Right.
Among the many changes are entering into Madrid Protocol, which is an international treaty, allowing these marks are called non-traditional trademarks.
Right. Okay.
So allowing non-traditional trademarks to be recognized in Malaysia.
I see.
And some other amendments that are relevant to the trademark laws. Right. So that has already been tabled to the Parliament, but the Malaysian IP office said that likely to be enforced next year. So we're looking at maybe earlier and middle of next year.
Okay, so not too long from now, hopefully we'll be able to see that change happen. Now, before we go into what makes a good trademark or what makes a poor trademark, or what you term as strong and weak, I asked you a question. Is it difficult to actually register a trademark? I think a lot of people sort of like, oh, you know, I don't know how to do this, it's so difficult, I don't know what to do, how's the process, is it going to be expensive? Maybe you can give us sort of like a quick overview of what the process looks like.
Alright, so we do get that about how it could be expensive, but it's not expensive at all. Number one, you have it for 10 years. When you register a trademark, you own it for 10 years, and then every 10 years you get to renew the trademark.
I see.
So in that sense, you can own your brand for life. You can pass it on to your generations after you and so on.
But you have to do it and renew it every 10 years.
Every 10 years, so
okay.
the law protects that. The law protects two interests.
Yeah.
First is
Safety.
lay people. People should not be confused by brands, similar brands coexisting in the market for the same products or services.
Right.
It also protects the brand owners. Brand owners spend a lot of money, time, effort in building their business.
Yeah.
Why should they not have monopolistic rights? Why do they not have exclusive rights in their business to use this brand for this service?
For their own products
and
calling it their
Correct.
name, right? And
So
having somebody sort of hijack it.
Yes, so it protects these two, and then it finds balance because there needs to be brands that allow enter the market which are not substantially similar. So and this happens very often when you use generic words.
Yes.
So if you use Red Apple is a good example, but a lot of restaurants have the word cafe in it, or have the word restaurant in it.
Or bistro. Yeah.
Or bistro.
Yeah.
So then it gets a bit tricky because another name added in front of bistro or in front of cafe might be similar to their name.
Right.
So then it becomes a question of can they coexist? And that's where we come in. We actually do a search. Are there similar marks already in Malaysia that's been protected?
Yeah.
Can yours coexist with them?
Yeah.
If it's a clear report, you say no, there's nothing similar.
Yeah.
You can actually proceed for filing.
Right.
Then the process takes 1.5. You ask me how long it takes?
Yeah.
It takes about 1.5 years in Malaysia.
1.5 years.
Yes.
I was hoping it was 1.5 months. It's 1.5 years.
That's why I qualified it.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I qualified it at the beginning, saying that it's different from a company registration.
Right.
When you register a trademark, you apply for it in the Malaysian Intellectual Property Office.
Yeah.
They will examine whether the mark is vulgar, contrary.
But poor bad intentions can literally, ruin your rainbow of sorts.
Well, thankfully, our law has a first to use principle.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you've used your brand first, even though you haven't rushed to the IP office to file it, you still have some rights.
Ah, okay.
So even if some person with ill intention comes later, after you started using the brand, and if they see, oh, there's a lot of potential in this, and you're doing quite well, like steals or market share, you still have better rights, you have prior rights.
Okay, now quick one because we don't have much time. Let's talk about strong and weak. I think we wanted to just differentiate what kind of names would represent strong trademarks and what won't.
Alright, so you're looking at a spectrum of descriptive marks being weak marks,
right?
And partially descriptive being the middle, and strong marks are the ones that are invented, coin marks meaningless.
So it doesn't exist elsewhere.
Yeah, so you yourself will come up with them.
Yeah.
So examples would be, when it's strong marks, think of Kodak.
Yeah.
It's meaningless.
Right.
Adidas is meaningless. Maxis.
Right.
So when you look
No
at
longer though, these days. If they mean a lot of things now, they mean, a large brand, which they have built out of nothing.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying more so of the word itself.
The word itself.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to explain that when you use a word that is readily existent in the dictionary, it becomes harder for you to have ownership of it.
Yes.
Right.
Basically, everyone else would want to use that name because it describes the business.
Yeah.
That's why descriptive brands are weak, because if you choose a brand, it's very descriptive. Another person in that field have high chances of choosing that brand because they would like to describe their business. Expansion efforts as well.
Correct.
So it becomes your bigger picture. If you value your business and you're growing your business, then your brand is very important in getting it protected.
Right. So hence, you were saying that it's not difficult. It's a simple process. How long will it take in order for you to do this? Because I think a lot of people get overwhelmed with the idea that I don't know what paperwork to prepare. Who am I supposed to see? Who am I supposed to file with it?
See us for sure. But no, so it's more so of it's not long, but if you compare it to getting a company registered, you can have a company registered within 3 to 5 days if you have the papers in order.
Right.
For a trademark, it's different. Now, first you have to check whether the mark is available.
Yes.
Is it similar to another mark already registered by someone else or already applied for by someone else?
What do you mean similar?
That's a good question because it's a subjective question.
Yes, correct.
The Act doesn't allow substantially similar marks to exist in the same domain. Meaning if you are having a restaurant and another person comes up with a brand, that brand shouldn't be substantially similar to my brand because I've already have this restaurant. I've protected the brand in the IP office. So it will confuse you and me, the lay people, if there's two brands that are very similar in the marketplace.
So if I give an example, if I said there's a restaurant and the one restaurant is called Red Apple and the other one is called Red Apples.
Yes, so that's a very similar trademark. I thought you were going to say blue apples, but so it's so similar.
Yeah, because you just can't add an S and call it, now it's different.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's for the restaurant industry, the same domain. If it's red, I would want to use that name because it describes the business.
Yeah.
That's why descriptive brands are weak, because if you choose a brand, it's very descriptive. another person in that field have high chances of choosing the brand because they would like to describe their business.
Right. So if you say like, I am best.
Oh, the best coffee in Malaysia.
Best coffee. So the name of your coffee shop is Best Coffee. It's going to be hard for you to be able to trademark that and say that's mine only.
Correct.
Right.
So laudatory marks, descriptive marks, and the Act itself provides that these marks can't be registered.
Right. Okay.
So to even try to get them registered is difficult in the first instance.
Right.
Then even when you do have it registered, when someone copies a brand, when you sue them in court, it becomes difficult because they have a very good defense.
Right.
How else do I describe my brand? How else do I describe my services?
Yes.
So it becomes trickier. It's easier to attack someone for misusing your brand if you have a coined brand, if you have an invented brand.
Right.
Even arbitrary brands are quite good. Arbitrary means that they exist in the English language or in the dictionary, but you're not using it for the products or services that directly describes it. So Apple's not using it for apples.
Right.
They're using it for computers and technology.
Right.
Banana boat.
So disassociating yourself from the product itself.
Correct. So
then hopefully you'll be able to create a brand that people can recognize. Yes. All right. Those are the quick tips that we can give you. It's all the time that we have for this segment, but of course in another 2 weeks we'll be talking a bit more about other parts. If you're interested to find out a little bit more, of course drop us a note and hopefully we'll be able to address any of your concerns. But thank you again, Geetha, for that fantastic session.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we'll help some people out there in order to, as they're coining their new name.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we have more stories to share with you. Stay tuned.